What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Chris, aka The Capital Connect, and in today's video, y'all see I'm smiling, man. Today we're gonna be breaking down the trade that gave me my biggest trading day ever. Stay plugged in, man. This is gonna be a good one. So right now, guys, we're in replay mode. I have all of my drawings turned off because I want to make sure I break this trade down step by step so that by the end of the video, you guys have a clear understanding of why I took this trade, and so that you guys can start backtesting some of these concepts on your own and start implementing some of this stuff in your own trading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the breakdown. So coming into today, guys, I already knew this in the back of my mind, but I knew that earlier in the week, right, we broke major structure to the downside on the 1 hour, right? So that's one confluence, right? We have a break of structure here on the 1 hour. Now, after I did that, I jumped right back down, to my smaller time frames, right? Specifically, I went down to the 1 minute. I'm not gonna lie. Here recently, I've really been on the 1 minute chart, like frequently, bro. Like I barely be on the 5 minute. I don't know why. It's like some weeks I'll be on the 5 minute, some weeks I'll be on the 1 minute, but this particular week and this particular day, right, I was on the 1 minute chart. And we had news today, right? February 1st, we had news today at 10 a.m. And I saw that the news came out bearish for the indices. Chris, how do you know that news came out bearish for the indices? Well, for those of you guys that don't know, when there's high impact news, medium impact news, or even low impact news, right? When it's high impact news and it's bullish for the dollar, that means that it's going to be bearish for the indices, and vice versa. If it's bearish for the dollar, it's going to be bullish for the indices, right? So knowing that we have bearish news in the back of my mind, all I'm looking for now is I'm looking to see, okay, is price going to give me a bearish setup? And it did. Now, if we're paying attention, we can see that we took out London's high sitting right here. All right, we took out London's high. Let me turn my magnet back on. But we took out London's high, right? That is a sweep of liquidity. Now, if you guys don't understand liquidity, I did a whole video on it, on my channel. So I definitely recommend that you guys go check that out. And I also did a video going over, I believe I called it like ICT's easiest fair value gap entry model, something like that. I did it a couple weeks ago, but you guys definitely need to go watch that as well, because that's going to help you understand, how I kind of frame this trade as well. So we get a sweep of liquidity, right? Then we get a market structure shift right here. We get a market structure shift right here, right? That is our market structure shift. Now, I know some people are going to be like, that is not a market structure shift, right? That is not a low. Well, here's the thing when it comes to market structure, guys. We have to understand that it doesn't need to be a whole bunch of candles in order for it to be a low and or a high, right? This one bearish candle can be a low, just like one bullish candle can be a high. So get out of your mind that you have to have multiple candles in order for it to be a low. Like, this is obviously a low, but it's not a low because there's multiple candles there. It's just a low because this is the lowest point, before it pushed up, right? So one candle can be a low, one candle can be a high. So we get our market structure shift there. And then what do I see here? We have a beautiful fair value gap overlapping that market structure shift. But not only that, guys, we have what is known as a breaker block. Now, some of you guys are probably like, what in the world is a breaker block? A breaker block is just a failed order block, simply put, right? This was a bullish order block, right? Some people would have been expecting for price to, tap back into this bullish order block, right? And then start continuing higher, because technically it checks all the boxes, right? We have a fair value gap attached to the order block, right? We broke structure here. So technically it checks all the boxes, right? But, this order block ended up failing. So a breaker block is just a failed order block. So let's go over all the confluences one more time. We broke structure on the 1 hour. We have bearish news for the indices. We swept liquidity, right? We swept London's high. We got a market structure shift, and we have a breaker block within our fair value gap, right? Oh, by the way, with the fair value gap, right? So that's the 6th confluence. So we got 6 confluences for this trade. I'm taking it all the time. I'm taking it all day, every day. So this is how I set up my entry, right? My entry was going to be entering off of that breaker block. All right, so it was a couple of ticks within the fair value gap. Stop loss placement goes above the breaker. Some people may want to be safe. They may want to put it up here, right, just so they can have peace of mind. But I'm cool with having my stop loss just above the failed order block. Now, when it comes to TP placements, if you guys have been on my channel for a while, you guys know that I don't have a specific risk to reward I'm looking for, right? I don't look for, oh, I need a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. My risk to reward, right? My TPs are always going to be based on structure, right? I don't have a set risk to reward. It is always based on structure, right? So if I'm selling, I'm looking for sell side liquidity, right? I'm looking for liquidity to the downside, right? So this point right here, I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself, but this point right here, that was my break even point. Why? Because my break even point for me, my break even / TP1 is always going to be the recent high if I'm going long, or the recent low if I'm going short. So this was going to be the recent low. Once I play out price a little bit more, let me go ahead and do that real quick. But we can see once we get triggered in here, right, this is the recent low. So this is the point where I'm going to be going break even. Me personally, there are some people who don't like that. That's perfectly fine. Do what you want to do, but I'm going break even at the recent high, after the recent high and or the recent low is taken on my particular setups, right? So that was my break even point / TP1, even though I didn't TP there. TP2 was right here at this low. And then ultimate / final TP was going to be at the low of the morning. Now, I didn't hold all the way down here, but let me go ahead and play it out a little bit more, right? Because I ended up getting out at 292, which is right here. Well, I ended up closing all of my positions at 292. But if I play this out a little bit more, right, we can see that we got a little scared. We got a little nervous right here, right? Because we had this pin bar, and then, right, one thing replay mode doesn't show you guys is that, in real time, this next candle after this pin bar, this thing was bullish for a long time, bro. And I was literally sitting there like, I think I may get stopped out. But what is that called? If y'all have been following me for a while, that's called regarding the clouds. We don't close trades because we regard the clouds, bro. Stop looking at reasons to close your trades early. That's regarding the clouds. So I let it play out. Price ended up closing back inside the fair value gap, which let me know at this point, like, bro, this trade is an easy call. We started getting some bearish momentum out of there. Once this candle took out this low, I instantly moved my stop loss to break even. And at this point, we're in a risk-free trade. I don't got nothing to worry about. And, playing this out, bro, price just fell off a cliff, right? And once we took out, once we got the TP2, I took one contract off. I'm gonna put the screenshot up in the video so you guys know I'm not capping, but took one contract off at TP2, and I tried to hold a runner all the way down here, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Once I saw that number, I ain't gonna lie, I closed the trade early. But this was my biggest trade ever, bro. On this particular trade, I made $2,800. Well, if you want to be real technical, I made $2,792, bro. And this is my biggest trade ever, bro. My biggest trade ever. And y'all gotta imagine, like, when I'm sitting in this trade in real time and I'm seeing these numbers, bro, I'm like, bro, should I close? And the whole time, man, I'm just looking at this number like, bro, this is crazy. I've never had a trade profit this much. And if I play this out just even more, man, y'all can see eventually ended up taking out TP3 as well before it ended up just reversing for the rest of the day, bro. But this trade right here, man, this was my biggest trade ever, my biggest profit on a trade ever. Just a beautiful setup, bro. We had all the confluences in the world in our favor. Like, it was really no reason not to take this setup. Like, you guys have to start learning when you're seeing a high probability setup, bro. Like, that's gonna come with experience, but once you get that experience under your belt, bro, once you see setups like this where you got nothing but confluences across the board, bro, you're gonna be super confident in taking these setups, right? I had my biggest trading day ever during NFP week, right? During NFP week, it's February 1st. It's Thursday, February 1st, right? We're right before NFP Friday, and I had my biggest trading day ever, and it was because, right, I recognized when I had a high probability setup. So I hope this video helps you guys out, man. I hope that you guys learned something new from this video. My biggest trading day ever, man. This is a super exciting time, but at the end of the day, bro, it doesn't matter what I did today. All that matters is, can I do it again, right? That's what I love about trading. Like, trading requires consistency. Like, it doesn't matter that you profited today. It doesn't matter that you profited last week. It doesn't matter that you profited last month. It doesn't matter that you profited all last year. What matters is, can you do it again, right? Can you repeat the process? Can you repeat the results, right? Are you consistent, right? And that's what I love about trading. So, of course, you know, I'm gonna thank God for this setup. I'm gonna thank God, you know, for these profits. But at the end of the day, I know that I have to be able to do it again. So yeah, man, that's all I got for this video. If you guys have any questions, definitely just drop them in the comments. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.